Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about something that used to frustrate me every time I tried to learn piano on cheap keyboards, the way those bargain instruments always felt like they were fighting me instead of helping. You know what I mean, keys that were either too light or too stiff, sounds that cut out mid-note, and a setup that looked and felt more like a toy than a real instrument. Well, I finally found something that actually makes playing enjoyable, and it's the Casio CELVIANO AP-300 digital piano. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What really sold me on this piano is how natural it feels to play. The keys are fully weighted with Casio's smart scaled hammer action, which means the resistance increases as you move from bass to treble, just like on a real acoustic piano. I've played on keyboards that try to mimic this but always end up feeling uneven or too heavy in the lower octaves. This one? It's spot on. Whether I'm practicing scales or playing a Chopin nocturne, the touch is consistent and responsive. That alone makes a huge difference when you're trying to build muscle memory. The sound quality is another standout. It comes with 19 different tones, including a brand new concert grand piano sample that sounds rich and full. I've heard digital pianos that try to fake the resonance of a real grand, but they often end up sounding thin or boxy. The AP-300 doesn't have that problem. The speakers are 40 watts total, which might not sound like much, but they're powerful enough to fill a room without distortion. I've played in a small apartment and even in a larger living room, and the sound stays clear and warm. One feature I didn't expect to love but now can't live without is the illuminated touch sensor controls. They light up when you need them but disappear when you start playing, so your focus stays on the keys. It's a small detail, but it makes such a big difference in keeping the experience clean and distraction-free. Plus, the cabinet itself is gorgeous, sleek black finish, soft close sliding key cover, and a movable top lid that gives it a real furniture piece look. It doesn't just sit in the corner like some cheap plastic keyboard, it actually looks like something you'd want in your home. Bluetooth connectivity is another big plus. I can stream music from my phone or tablet and play along with my favorite songs. It also supports MIDI over Bluetooth, which means I can record my playing directly into music apps on my computer. That's been a game changer for tracking my progress and experimenting with different sounds. The USB port is handy too if you prefer a wired connection or need to charge devices. I've also been really impressed with how easy it is to move around. The piano weighs about 86 pounds, which is heavier than some digital pianos, but it's still manageable for one person to slide into place. The cabinet is sturdy, so it doesn't wobble when you press the sustain pedal hard. And speaking of the pedal, it's a 3-pedal unit that feels just like the ones on acoustic pianos. That's something you don't get on most beginner keyboards, and it makes a huge difference in expression. Now, I do have a couple of minor quibbles. The included bench is pretty basic, it's fine for short practice sessions, but if you're planning to play for hours, you might want to upgrade to something more comfortable. Also, while the sound library is solid, it's not endless. If you're looking for hundreds of instrument sounds, this might not be the one for you. But honestly, for the price and the quality, I think Casio struck a great balance. Overall, the Casio CELVIANO AP-300 is a fantastic digital piano for anyone serious about learning or improving their skills. It feels like a real instrument, sounds great, and looks good in your home. Whether you're a beginner or an intermediate player, this piano gives you the tools to grow without holding you back. If you're thinking about upgrading from a cheap keyboard or just want something that actually inspires you to play, I highly recommend checking it out. The link is below if you want to see the current price and read more reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.